Well, last summer of 2022, Serge Gnabry was one of the players that Arsenal was really keeping an eye on at Bayern Munich because his contract was left with just 1 year, and obviously Bayern was pushing hard to see to it that he puts pen to paper, and he did. And guess what has happened? With the signing of Thomas Tuchel, Serge Gnabry has found himself in a position of not convincing the managers of Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich are considering him for sale this summer. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? Welcome to the Transfer News Show. Talking Declan Rice to Arsenal. TalkSport has gone ahead to drop another huge update about the transfer, and you have every reason to keep it with this channel. And guys, continue to subscribe because we want to hit 14,000 subscribers. We've gone ahead to hit 13,000 subscribers and continue really subscribing to see to it that we grow our numbers day in, day out. Muslims, you've ended the holy month of Ramadan, and today is Eid al-Fitri, and enjoy your Eid as you prepare to go on and really go in. Is it called Sitat? Those 6 days of fasting are celebrating Eid. There are those 6 days of fasting that the Muslims really do take. They're really so much important in their religion. Now, let's kickstart it off with a story coming in from Germany. Obviously from Toby, one of the correspondents of Bayern Munich at the Sports Build, and Christian Falk. They confirmed us that both Sadio Mane and Serge Gnabry are candidates for sale this summer. Meanwhile, Hassan Salihamidzic considers Ryan Gravenberch not for sale as he believes in his big potential. Now, Serge Gnabry, to me, I think is the most important bit of it all. I think for Sadio Mane, I've already come out through and we told you that maybe they're going to sell him. So let's tackle Serge Gnabry because I've not yet talked about Serge Gnabry. Serge Gnabry is a player who almost plays in every attacking positions of the midfield. You know, he can play as a central attack midfielder, right winger, left winger. He can also play as a false number 9. But this season at Bayern Munich, he's not going to enjoy a lot of game time. That's it. Amidst them lacking an out-and-out number 9, Serge Gnabry has gone ahead to really miss out on a lot of games. But while the previous season of 2021-2022, Serge Gnabry found himself in a position of really playing very many games at Bayern Munich, and that's why Bayern Munich wanted to really renew his contract. And last summer, Arsenal were going in for him because his contract was left with 1 year, and obviously Serge Gnabry said, I'm renewing my contract with Bayern Munich, and it expires in 2026, meaning that 3 years from now, that's when his contract will run down at Bayern Munich. But this season, he's not happy at Bayern Munich because in the front three of Bayern Munich, he's nowhere near the starting players. You know, Leroy Sane is ahead of him. Coleman is ahead of him. Sadio Mane is ahead of him. And I rarely see him come on through to play any game for the team of Bayern Munich, meaning that at the age of 27, he's regretting as to why he never really accepted a move to Arsenal and why he accepted to put pen to paper. And I think the reason as to why Bayern Munich wanted to put pen to paper with Serge Gnabry was they never wanted to lose him out on a free. At least they wanted to get some money out of him, because right now you can get like 40 million pounds from Serge Gnabry. That's it, if at all you are to put him on the market. And they had gone ahead to lose Nicolas Schule to Borussia Dortmund on a free, so they never wanted the same thing to happen to them. So I think they had to convince him to sign a new contract, and obviously Serge Gnabry did. But I think he is here regretting why he did it, because this season he's not playing enough of the games that he used to play at Bayern Munich. And now, why do I rate this to Arsenal? The team that was so much interested in him was Arsenal. That was last summer, and I think their interest has not yet died off because there is still high demand for a player like Serge Gnabry at Arsenal. Because if I tell you, look at Leandro Trossard and how he has gone ahead to really raise the levels of competition at Arsenal, you can easily understand why I'm telling you that a player known as Serge Gnabry is still on demand at Mikel Arteta's side, because he can obviously play as a right winger, a position that Arsenal has found playing soccer endlessly because they are not having a player who can really come in and replay very well. Secondly, Arsenal are going in the Champions League. They need players that are really experienced in the Champions League. If at all you are needing a player who has experience and can really do it game in, game out, and has proven it at high levels, I think Serge Gnabry ticks that box of Champions League experience, because it's no brainer that Arsenal is going to play the Champions League next season, but them playing the Champions League next season will call them to get in players who are really experienced, because when you look at the targets that they're really targeting to bring in, most of those players are not really having Champions League experience, and they'll be needing that experience in the Champions League are going to play next season, because I think next season Arsenal is going to be participating in all tournaments. Is going to be competing, not participating. Is going to be competing in all tournaments other than what they did this season. This season, the only tournament they've competed in is the Premier League. That's why right now they're still on top of the table, 4 points ahead of City. So it puts Arsenal in a situation of not having no option other than signing in Serge Gnabry. And I know many will say maybe we are looking in for other players, but those players are really lacking Champions League experience. Marco Asensio, who would have gone ahead to come in through and play that position of Bukayo Saka, all act as a backup, all an understudy, all a competitor. Looks like he's sold to a new contract that Real Madrid is really going to offer him this season. So Serge Gnabry is having Premier League Champions League experience. Declan Rice doesn't have Champions League experience. Caicedo Moise doesn't have Champions League experience. Zubimendi doesn't have Champions League experience. He plays for Real Sociedad. So I'm looking at players that Arsenal really looking at. Vlahovic, yeah, he has. I think last season he played there. Even this season, he's gonna hate to play there. Which other player Arsenal target has been playing in the Champions League? I think that's all, So experience is needed at Arsenal. I think that's why Serge Gnabry to Arsenal will be a very good deal, because Serge Gnabry looks like he wants to leave, and even Bayern Munich are really willing to sell him because they cannot promise him more playing time, unless otherwise Thomas Tuchel finds himself in a position of convincing the board that he's going to stay. But one thing I know about Bayern Munich, the coach doesn't decide for the board. It's the board to decide who to sell and who not to sell. If they say that player is not for sale, even if the manager wants that player to be sold, that player will never leave Bayern Munich. So as it stands, I think Sadio Mane and Serge Gnabry are really going to be put in the shop window in the summer transfer window. But for Sadio Mane, I'm really dubious about it. Do you know why? They cannot really sell a player whom they bought last season, because it will show the incompetency in the recruitment department of Bayern Munich. And I think that's why they also don't want to sell Ryan Gravenberch, amidst them knowing that he might not be so much prospectful at Bayern Munich. They just don't want to paint that picture to players that we can sign you within 1 year. If at all you fail, we don't give you a second chance, then we just let you go. It will really see them in a position of not painting a very good image to getting players like those. Now, as it stands, it is something great for a side known as Arsenal, because if they are to get Serge Gnabry, it will be really a very good addition. Look at that Arsenal side when you're having Serge Gnabry, Trossard, Jesus, Martinelli, and Bukayo Saka. That attacking prowess will be really an overdose to very many teams in the Champions League and even teams in the Premier League. And I think Sergio Gnabry is really a player who played in the Premier League for some time, so it won't be hard for him to go on and really suffer into the league. Now, Declan Rice is another one that has been linked to Arsenal, and TalkSport has gone ahead to inform us that Declan Rice is certain to leave West Ham at the end of the season, with Arsenal's interest the most advanced. Rice is excited by the prospect of the move. So Declan Rice is excited with the Arsenal move, and you saw him sorry about that, and you saw him with Martin Odegaard, and I think Martin Odegaard was signing a jersey for him when the game of Arsenal that they played over the weekend on Sunday against West Ham got done. So after that game got done, he was having a very good conversation with Mikel Arteta and Martin Odegaard, meaning that he's sold with the move to Arsenal and is excited to go on and really go for Arsenal. Why? Why is he excited? One, He's English. Secondly, Arteta has gone ahead to promise him that you have a starting position in my lineup, meaning that Arteta might be really wanting to phase out Thomas Partey slowly by slowly, because Partey has proven that he's an injury-prone player, and sometimes you need a Declan Rice to keep you going. And I think Declan Rice is 24 years of age, and I think he has reached the level to really elevate. If he doesn't elevate this summer, I think he won't elevate. These teams will go in and sign in CDMs that are really going to be so much younger that they cannot go in for a player like Declan Rice next summer. And Declan Rice knows it very, very well, that this is his season to go to a big team. And Arsenal have made him their priority summer signing. So Declan Rice is really a good player, but not as how the media is going ahead to really portray him. So if he comes in at Arsenal, he faces a lot of competition from Thomas Partey, but I think he can dislodge Thomas Partey from that position because he's English, and the English media will do the needful to really put pressure onto Mikel Arteta to field the English international into that team of Arsenal. So Arsenal is really adding very many dots to see to it that next season they also go ahead and really compete. Now, Declan Rice is another one that they are looking at, and Declan Rice is sold to a move. And him interested in the move is something good and acting as a boost for Arsenal. Why? It's always good to go in for the player who is also in need of you. But the big question is, how much will he cost? Is it going to be £80 million, £100 million? As the manager of West Ham told us that if they were to sell Declan Rice, he'll break the all-time transfer record of an English player, and that is Jack Grealish. He was sold from Aston Villa to Man City at £100 million, meaning that Declan Rice is £100 million plus. And will Arsenal go ahead and really cough that money? We are waiting to see how that's going to happen in the summer transfer window. And I think by May, things are really going to be heating up, and it's going to be so much packed up with transfer news and details. Now, Paul Mason, former Arsenal legend, working onto Sky Sports, was talking to Sportskadia, and this is what he had to tell them on Arsenal versus Southampton, a game that's going to be played today at Emirates. He said, "This is a big game in the title race, and Arsenal need to get back to where they were. They've run out of luck a little bit. For all the last-minute goals they've scored this season, it's coming the other way now. Arsenal aren't playing badly, but they are getting punished for things they got away with at the start of the season." And he's right, because sorry about that. Arsenal is losing games or dropping points because they are a team that scores fast and then concedes later. For a team that kept very many clean sheets away from home this season, it really looks worrying if at all they're a team that is really doing things and getting punished the other way around after really scoring in goals. So I think he's making a very good call for Arsenal that in the game of Southampton, they should find themselves in a position of doing the scoring job as they defend very well too, because if at all they don't, they'll find themselves in a situation of being penalized left, right and center. And some good news is that, as I predicted in the starting 11 of Arsenal, Alexander Zinchenko has arrived with the Arsenal squad, suggesting he'll be in the squad to face Southampton tonight. Remember, Mikel Arteta was so much audible about the Zinchenko question in the pre-match press conference that he has not yet really gone to the levels of really confirming with us that he's going to be part of the team to play in the game of Southampton. So Zinchenko has arrived with Arsenal at Emirates and is expected to play part into that beautiful game of football. Rokani David remains my name. Tell me your thoughts about Serge Gnabry to Arsenal boost. Then, what do you think about Declan Rice to Arsenal? And lastly, Paul Mason's thoughts about Arsenal getting punished in a way that is really unorthodox. I sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. My Muslim friends and subscribers and viewers, Eid Mubarak. Me out.